What's going on? It's me, Zen. How are you doing? Switch this up a little bit. Let me see here. Get this camera set up. Hi, guys. What's happening? I thought we might listen to some music and talk about whatever you want. What do we got here? Oh man, the music is not. It's not hitting quite yet, cause my YouTube is not functioning. Give me a second. Oh, if you're new here, this may not be the... Like if you're new here in the future, meaning don't click on this. Go to one of my other videos. Because I don't know what we're talking about. I have no... there's absolutely no motivation other than the chitty chat with people that already know me. But if you don't know me and you want to talk, that's okay too. So if you show up, type something in there. Because I'm trying to switch gears here from the videos that I've been doing recently, because there hasn't been much to talk about but current events. And the current events, as far as we can tell, are pretty ridiculous. You know, I don't want to get into the whole clown world, the whole ridiculousness of things, because it's been, let's talk about it too much, and I don't want to beat off a dead horse. Wait, that's not it. Let me find a little music for you here. See if this works. Not really. Should we talk about I don't know, the good things in the world? Let's talk about the possibilities of the future. We talk about anything you want, really. We talk about why is my hair down today? Because I just washed it and I thought I'd let it. Oh, it's still a little moist back there, but whatever. Let my hair breeze out. Get all breezy. Let's see what this is. I don't know. I just thought we should talk about things and stuff. The state of the world is... We've covered this many, many times. Should go back to some early videos that I've done and address things like magic and language. Do you want to get into etymology, or should we do something a little more entertaining? Talk about music, video, movies. You guys like movies? You want to talk? Maybe we could talk about virtual reality. You guys want to talk about VR? I don't like this. I don't like it at all. It's trash. I want something better. It says the best from last year. No, I don't believe it. Probably jazz. You guys want some jazz? Oh, lo-fi. Here we go. This would be good. Lo-fi hip-hop. Yeah, let's do that. So let me talk about VR and the future of sex dolls. How about that? Talk about, like, we get into like the Westworld thing. I mean, we cover that frequently. Maybe some of you have heard or been involved in any of the talks we've had about the plastic society and the benefits and the benefits to it and the negatives to it, and how man, like, what a strange world. Would you have a so if you could have a robot made, we'd already have the things that are pushing. I mean, consider this: we already have the things pushing around the dirt on the floor, and vacuuming a carpet. You just push a button and it does it for you, right? And you already got a dishwasher. You got technology doing this, and then you got people out here that are already buying fleshlights and and the the thing that the fake boob chicks already have fake boobs installed, and plastic surgery, and then you can buy the thing without the brain attached. It's just a doll, right? Now all these things, what if you just combine them all together? I mean, isn't that where it's going? Isn't Westworld where it's going? And would people now say they wouldn't? No, that's crazy. But How many people use tools and technology? And at what point does it cross into the threshold of confusion, like of what is a robot, what is real, what is the human experience, what is a should every time you make love be to your own hand or to another human being, or could it be a robot? And when you think of a robot, you think of something that is metallic and plastic, but no, they've come a long way with these things, huh? I don't know. I'm just wondering where people are, where people stand on the idea of how crazy Westworld is, and are we sure we're not already living pretty much in that? Are we sure that the ideas of Westworld didn't already happen hundreds of years ago? And how could you? What if it was so well done that I'm walking amongst you already are synthetic people? How would you know? You'd be like, oh, you would know. Huh? 20 years ago, you wouldn't have been thinking about all of this crazy technology that you have now. 40 years ago, you wouldn't have been thinking of having a computer in your hand, walking around doing all this, talking on a phone with right to you anywhere you want. You'd be on a plane talking to somebody, looking up internet stuff. You wouldn't even not even in your consideration. Let's try this out. Background music. So, as life is a continued crazy journey and experience, where does it go? Where does it go from here? I mean, think about people in the 1800s. Were they thinking about jet skis and scooters and trains that go 300 miles an hour and airplanes? No, I don't think so. But here we have it as a general part of society that we accept as, how we get around with cars. We wouldn't have, years ago, that was not a thing. Now we can get on a train, a plane, an automobile. I can push a button and listen to any music I want. It's all copyright free because I have to. You don't even need to leave your house. Like quite literally, we're already in a position we don't need to leave our house for anything. You can order all your food, all of your products, what do you need? There are people that haven't left their house in years. Sounds crazy. Haven't left their house. Especially people live in I've pointed this out before, I live in an apartment complex. Big one. And even on site, there used to be a hair studio, and I think there's still a massage studio, and there's a bar, restaurant. There's quite literally no reason to leave this place for people now with computers. And the amounts of technology and everything that's you can order groceries. You can even within the community. There's a pool. There's there's an outdoor area that's still within. If you consider that part of your house a pool, you know what I mean. And there's people that haven't even been outside. People don't even open their windows. They don't even the fresh air means I don't even know what they breathe. What do they breathe in? It's just stale air. They just hot boxing their own apartments, just sniffing their own farts and whatever. I mean, I wonder if you took oxygen levels of certain people's domiciles and how much other stuff's in the space besides oxygen. As they're breathing out, there's leaks in here. You get a little oxygen. Some people don't open their windows and they smoke in there and whatever. And gotta wonder, man, what does the new world look like? What's up, Christopher Lee? Not a big fan of this movie either, this music either. It's really giving me a little bit of a dilemma here, because I want hip hop or come on now. Make me go all the way back to the beginning? Is that what you're gonna do? Well, and let's go a little further with the not having to leave, not having to. How some people don't want to interact with other humans either. It's actually for some people that are extremely introverted, and a lot of the introversion. We'll get into this in a second, but I guess they're introverted because they have low self-esteem, they're out of shape, they don't feel well about themselves, all of these things, and they just don't want to be public. They don't want to interact with other people because they have their self-identity and self-worth is very low, so they don't want to leave the house anyways. But so for them it becomes practical. For them it becomes almost a gift to just go, yeah, just hook me up to the thing and hook me up to the computer, and I can make my own character, and I'll just use my head, my brain, my mind to function around in that thing that I've just built. Just we're just taking what we do on the computer or what we do on video games, and then they would be much happier doing that. It's like Ready Player One. And the reason I'm kind of getting to this right now is because me and my friend were talking about the VR headsets, and I was like, oh man, I was like, man, maybe I'll just get one. So see what it's all about, because I don't have a dilemma with having a virtual reality or AI or tools and technology. I don't have any problem with any of it. I think it just be part of our experience, not the totality of it. But we were talking about in the sense of there's all the things you can do, and then that connected to the sex robots and whatever, and it was just like a funny chat. And I was like, oh, there's people that are already into that. That's already their thing. So like once they're into that, like what is their it's like in Ready Player One. If you haven't seen the movie, highly suggest go watching it. Highly suggest it. What is their purpose? Like just like in the Matrix, they're in a tube, and their whole thing is fed into another system where they can basically do anything they want. Is there what would most people see as negative about that? Most people wouldn't see anything. They would be line up for that. They would be giving up something. It seems. Would they be giving up their soul or their spirit or their general humanness? Like what would happen? The idea is what would happen if they were into one of those systems and then the system broke or it just was eliminated, and they were expected to do this 3D reality right here and interact the way that with other humans, the way that we do. Here's how my arms work. Here's how I dance. I don't have to push any buttons. It's this is how I am, and shake your hand and high five you, give you a hug, and oh my gosh, this is a real person. Interact like that, right? They won't be able to. What would they? Maybe that's looking a little too far down the line, but what would they do? What is up, Mr. Mannion? What's up, Skull? Yeah, some drumsticks, pineapple, and satsumas. Pineapple tart, satsumas is where it's at. Yes, it's satsuma season. There's a couple of restaurants here. It's like a big breakfast restaurant in New Orleans. Satsuma. And there's a bunch of trees around here. You can just go grab some. Lemon trees, lime tree, satsuma tree. I don't know how I'd feel about cooked chicken. Yeah, if it's looking fresh, fuck it. I remember whenever me and my friends used to walk around DC, and there'd be like, we'd be in the summertime, and there'd be patio dining everywhere, and it's really a nice part of it. And people would leave, and we'd be drunked up from wherever we're at. We'd be walking down the street, and somebody would just like grab food off. Like after people left, we would just walk up to grab the food off the plates, like fine dining establishments, like whatever's left over. Oh man, let me get some music on here. Some jazz, perhaps. Let's try this one. Let's see what we got here. And I've also been thinking about, I'm really considering getting a plot of land somehow with somebody. I don't know. And building and doing like tiny houses on wheels, you know what I mean? Doesn't really require permits. You just get a plot of land, hopefully water on it, but I don't know. It's because it's getting the only part of the city that's getting weird is like how quickly like it would get to the point that people don't even exist in the public sector anymore. You're already seeing it for a different reason, but they're putting a strong arm on people to not be interacting in public, not to be human, not to hang out with your neighbor, not to, I mean, talk about it from the level of procreation, right? They say this whole thing, what's going on here is perhaps so that we make people where their seed doesn't work. We can do that to plants, right? We can do that seedless watermelon, seedless. We can make the male seedless, or maybe the female egg not to work, right? So that seems to be going on a little bit, huh? Is that the purpose? Is that what's going on? And even if it's not, part of it is how many people are really going out and doing the dating scene now? How many people are really interacting like that? How difficult is it? Because I mean, have people so scared of anything they're already masking up, right? Everybody's put a mask on. Now, how many chicks out there that used to be into letting Joe, John, Jeff, Frank, and Bucko over here go raw dog, and perhaps having babies, lots of them by accident, obviously, and now they're just like, no, they're making people strap up, and now you can't, you ain't gonna be raw dogging me, you I'll get that. Now they're scared of the boogie monster, and so that's gonna be another reason that people aren't making no babies. First, there's nobody's dating anymore. It ain't like it used to be. Yeah, not even close. And then people are just always putting the extra layers of protection. Not to mention what's going to be happening because of all these chemicals. Not to mention add into that chicks that are already on birth control for whatever different kinds. How many? If we're really talking about declining population, certainly seems to be. I mean, how long does it take before we ain't seeing any babies popping out? What's that movie called with Gerard Butler? I brought this up the other day. Gerard Butler, where Children of Men. There it is, Children of Men. That everybody's sterile, and this one chick has a baby and was the only baby born. Nobody else had a baby. You don't really figure out how or why, or like, but she had a baby. Nobody else did. It was like it was the apocalypse, the end of the world, and so she had to hide this baby. And pretty interesting. So I mean, in whose benefit would it be to not populate with humans anymore? Whatever humans are. If they were carbon creatures. Maybe they're silicon creatures. And it wouldn't be in their best interest for low-level carbon creatures to reproduce. Because they're silly, dumb, they get in the way. They're not functioning, doing their tasks anymore. Why not build robots to do the tasks of the humans? I can't. I can't. I can't kid you. I can't kid you. If I was a silicone creature and there was generations ago we decided to build another species, crossbreed it, hybridize a species with our own and some monkey gene, and they done what they need to do. You don't think I would be like, all right, cool, let's just sterilize them. No harm, no foul. I wouldn't. I don't see it as a harm or foul, really. Who really would want to bring a child into this world the way it is right now? I couldn't see it for the last 20 years. As soon as I was well aware of what's going on, I'm like, I want to bring a kid in this world. That's crazy. That's nuts. So if you said people really want to, you're cuckoo. You ever walk around? You ever see how weird it is? Poison in the food, the weird people, the violence, the insanity that you want to bring another child in. So if I were intelligent cyborg demigod slash silica being, what would be the most humane way to stop the humans from continuing on? I wouldn't have to kill anybody. I let them do it their own. You silly enough to go take some experimental substances in your body and you can't reproduce, or that's on your own accord, right? I mean, I'm not saying I agree with what's going on, but to sterilize the population, I don't see the problem with it. I mean, the only then people, oh, I can't believe you say such a thing. No, they're just responding emotionally to something. Reality would tell you that all of the things that have been done, all of the jobs and things that can easily be done mechanically by robotics, and the things that couldn't be, nature will do it itself. All the food you need grown and all the animals out there, they'll keep reproducing. And the plants that are wild and everything, they'll keep doing what they're doing. They'll repopulate the way they should. The human experiment of the hybridization of the gods and the monkey put together to become whatever the humans are, seems like the experiment is done. They did what they. Respond emotionally if you like, but reality would say, what purpose would you have of bringing why would you want to bring a child into this cuckoo nest? How are the shelves? I don't know. I can't really respond to that because I haven't gone to the store. The stores that I go to are local, and I mean, there's things that are in and out of stock, but it's not. It's not. It's just things that probably they didn't order. But then again, it's a smaller store. It's not like I haven't been to the big ones, but I haven't heard anything about it. And we do have this really interesting thing because of all of the other ports. A lot of things got pushed through the port of New Orleans, so it seems like we've been getting pretty stocked up. Where I think the West Coast and some other ports that were, remember, the West Coast was kind of shut down for a while, so they were kind of under some duress through the foodstuffs, I guess. But no, haven't really noticed. Well, yeah, I hear you there, Christopher. Well, yes, I hear you on why and what that is, but then again, they weren't really considered that to begin with either. Once you were a slave and also a beast. If you look up the legalese on it and birth certificate and all that, you were a slave, you were on a ship, you were also property, and you were also the word means beast. So I mean, I get it on how that changed a little bit with the Jabby Walkers. But I mean, furthering this, really, where do you think, where, I can't stress this enough. What do people think's going to happen? Like every job that exists, what can't be done with the aid of computers and robots? And this isn't a good or bad thing, but I will once again say that technology has always, the purpose for tools and technology is always to make things easier for us, to give us more leverage in time and space, and to make mundane, redundant tasks. Why would you want to do a mundane, redundant task? You don't. No one does. It's silly. It's why engineers, if they have to make 20 of the same thing, they're not going to make 20 of those. They're going to make one mold and then produce 20 things from that mold. It makes more sense. It takes a little. What they do is they look at how long would it take me to make a mold and go through everything to make 20 of those, or would it take the same amount of time to just make 20? And as soon as it reaches that tipping point of at 21, if somebody asked me to make 21 of something, then immediately I would make a mold to do it. If you're building a house and you have a bunch of cuts to make and they're all the same cut, you make the widget. How long will it take to make the widget to do the thing? If it takes you 20 minutes to do that, but it would take you 20 minutes to make the cut, you just keep making the cuts. As soon as it takes less time to make the widget, you make the widget. So, what in life can we not say it'd be easier and we could produce more of, and everyone could have enough of everything if we just allowed the robots and the technology and the computers to do the work? You'd be silly to think that you wouldn't choose that. No one would choose to do the mundane tasks. And if you would, there's something wrong with your brain, I think. Certainly, if I want a blanket, and my grandma loves to stitch things and make, then yeah, I want all that energy, and that would be lovely. Certainly, I want a piece of artwork done by man's hand. I want to see that. I like that. Certainly, there are products that humans can make individually, and that's wonderful, artistic. I want to hear music. I don't want to hear digitally corrected. I want analog music. Yeah, I get. There's a good reason I make synthesizer music. I get it, but analog is the way to go. Those little slight imperfections are what part of the experience is about. But as a totality, you don't want imperfections when you're making a building. It's going to fall apart when there are people in it. You want as close to perfection as you can. Can you guys hear the tunes? Hey, let me go grab a little bit of ice for my consideration in my beverage, and I will be right back. Be right back, about 30 seconds. Count them down. Here's a question I have. So it is about 48 degrees today. It's been chilly. It got below 40. My window is always open. It's open pretty wide. I have a fan on. And my building isn't necessarily warm. Yet my apartment right now is 82 degrees. I don't know what it is. No matter how cold. In fact, it's sometimes cooler in here, and my air conditioner, heater, nothing's on. And I don't have anything running in here. My TV and my phone. Why doesn't it get cold in here? It doesn't get cool. And right now, I don't even think my air conditioner runs. I think they switch it over to heat during the winter. Rest of everybody else in my apartment, the whole building, as far as I know, no windows are open. A friend of mine, I was at their house, and their house was chilly, and I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Can I open your window?" It was a little chilly, but I was like, "Can I open your window?" Because I like the fresh air. I like to. I'm a weird about I like air. I like oxygen. She's like, "No, it's too cold." And I'm like, I don't understand why my place just it doesn't get cool. Is it me? Because I thought I was pretty cool. Thought I was a pretty cool guy. Anyways, what are we talking about here? What is up, Black Sun? What's up, duty butt? What are you doing? I am about to crush this apple. What do I got? I got apple juice and cranberry juice and vodka and a little bit of lime juice. It's pretty nice. I've been drinking apple juice with vodka because that's what I had. Sounds a little weird at first, but I'm kind of not hating it. With a little bit of lime and the cranberry, it's not too bad. Kind of dig it. And honestly, in the past week or so, I've been getting up early. I've been feeling like $1,000,000. Like I'm not dealing with any type of depression really. I don't know. Despite the fact that mask mandates in and nobody's out, there's nothing to do. Kind of stuck inside. I don't know. I've been getting up, having a little bit of coffee. I mean, I'm not really a coffee person, but I've been kind of being a coffee person recently. Have a cup of coffee, a couple vodka and drinks, and I don't know. Been doing all right. Fiscally, I'm not, and another reason I don't know why I'm not depressed or whatever. Fiscally, no, I'm pretty poor right now. So if anybody wants to, you're always welcome to put dollars into my funding account. You can donate to me because I'm pretty awesome. You guys apparently like me. So if you want to, feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that shit. And if you really want to, if you really about that life, buy some property in New Orleans. Maybe not in New Orleans proper, but like outside in Louisiana. Buy a piece of property, and we'll build stuff. And I will build it. I will tell you how to build it. We'll go about building an empire from basically just a small little tiny house. Because I want to get I really want an alpaca. So that's important. And I want there's a bunch of animals that I want. I mean, I don't want them to own them. I just like, I want to play with them. I don't want to eat them. I don't want them to be doing things for me. I just want an alpaca. Is anything wrong with that? Yeah, I mean, I could find some dollars to put on it. So I mean, if we all came together, somebody got to buy it though. I don't have credit for that. Yeah? Finn, you down? Let me know, for real. If you down, I mean, I'm sure that would get more than enough land and even start. I'm sure. I'm sure for probably even half of that, we could get enough land, and that would be enough to even get something to, you know, get an RV or something, just so we have something to live out of while we build. And from the point of building things, just build tiny houses on wheels, so we don't need any permits or anything. And all this shit I know how to do. If you didn't know, that's what I used to do for a living, build houses. Yeah, man. Yeah, for real, for real. I mean, I'm 100% down. And again, like if you didn't already know of the shit that I know, it's not just like mental weirdness of language and stuff. Like I used to build houses top to bottom. That was my business. And farming and all of that, I knew all about that. You know, greenhouses, how to build this shit, like electricity, you name it. I mean, design and architect, that's my shit. That's my shit. Yeah, that's my Jimmy Jammers. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, if you for real, I'm 100% down to do that. You know, and for real, if we can find something, if we can find something with water on it, that's even better. But you know, if it's just a small, even if it's a small plot for a little while, just to dick around and just have somewhere to, you know, kick it from close to the city. Fuck yeah. Because I've always said I want to be close enough to the city because I still, you know, I still love the city, but you know, people are weird. And you know, enough for a farm. It's a farm and a greenhouse, and I want my goddamn animals. I gotta have them. I want capybara. I want a capybara. I want a, and these I can probably find donations. I can find people to get me these things because they know that I want them, but I don't have anywhere to put them. I can't really have an alpaca in this apartment. It just wouldn't work. It's too big. They need room to run. You know, it is really interesting the amount of people that I've met on here from the UK. Um, you know, the different places that I find people that listen to me the most is mostly United Kingdom, man. You know, there used to be some. I mean, there still is from you know the from the couple from South Africa, couple South African, obviously mainly the U.S. Probably because of the time that I do lives. I think that might go to assist in when people show up. And then Australia, New Zealand. Yeah, but it's interesting to me. Oh, dude. Just, if you've never heard me sell New Orleans before, it's for me. It's just there's nowhere else. It just nowhere else exists. Whenever there's no reason to leave here because of the culture, the people, the food, the music. But the climate is ideal, next to the river, next to the ocean, next to everything that's kind of cool. It's close enough drive to other major cities. Yeah. What's up, Judy? Yeah, for real. I mean, I'm I'm quite sure I can figure out how to come up with some cash. Um, because what I'm spending here, that that can turn I can turn into, if I'm not gonna be here, then that opens up quite a bit of currency for me. Yeah, Junie, Judy, you're still in. She's just next door in Texas, right? Texas. Are you talking about? Are you talking about the color that I'm using on the screen? The sepia tone. Yeah, I like the sepia tone too. It's a very calming, relaxing color that isn't quite stark black and white, but has like that brown hue to it. So it adds a little softness to it. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, Finn. I mean, once I get my other channel back, I can put the feelers out there on too. I've said it before, and there was plenty of people that were totally about it when I was bringing it up last year. Jay Marley was about it. A few other people were, and I mean, it was just it's like timing and organizing it. Like essentially, if I was just like, I have if essentially we had a plot of land to begin with, then from that point it's easy. But it was a matter of like everybody's like, oh, I can get a couple K on it, I can get a couple K on it, and it's like bringing everybody together from different places that I don't really know. But I mean, I've talked to them enough. But getting everybody together and getting it done is like, okay, now you got to drive here and take a look at the place. You got to fly here, whatever. And that's a little, organizing that is like corralling cats. So really, like if we just came up on a piece of property, and also even if it was a smaller piece of property that somehow we found within city limits, that's even crazier fun. But cost wise, obviously the farther we get outside, the bigger property and the more old growth that will be on it. I mean, maybe not super old growth, but yeah, man, it'd be wicked. Because legitimately, once you have the land, that can always, you own it, right? So you always have that, and then it could be sold, right? And if we're building tiny houses on it, that is another investment that if shit doesn't work out, people always about buying. You're making it. That's an investment. You'll make more off of selling it, and it's something that I'm like legitimately all about doing. Like build tiny houses and sell them to people. I would do that. It's just like, and I used to have all the tools but I just never had space. Once I moved into New Orleans, the place I've lived, I've never had enough space. I had one place that I had a huge workshop, but not enough space to build anything that major. But yeah, all sorts of fun things you do. Junipers. Hard kombucha is like hippie champagne. Yeah. How is the if without getting too filthy here, how are the ball movements afterwards? Because the kombucha to me always loosens things up so much. The hippie champagne though. Yeah, Finn, just make sure you just so I just so I have your email, hit me up on my TheoLuminous, just so it's in there. I don't have we ever emailed before? I don't know. I forget whenever it goes to someone's actual name versus their thing here. I don't know. I get so many emails anyways. So just hit me up on TheoLuminous. It's in the description box. It should be. That's the Gmail. And yeah. Yeah, ideally as close to the city for many reasons. Uh, just because, like, looking ahead, I don't see everything going into, at least in the short term. Everything's not going to just overnight turn into like everything is digital and electronic world, and everybody's a robot, and there's, the crazy, that's 2050 if it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a ways out. But I still want to have the community and the people and the food and the culture of New Orleans. I still want to be in that, as close to it as possible. I've lived in the sticks, and while it's nice, there is that isolation and that, like, hey, I mean, even if there was like 10, 20 of us, like, and I don't want to be a fucking hippie commune either. I ain't a fucking hippie. Okay, it'll be somewhat like that, but not a. I don't want to be around a bunch of, dope heads, smoking weed every day and like, dude, we gotta fucking, like everything's dreaded out and like messy and like I'm not trying to hang out with slobs. Hippies to me are slobs. Sorry to break it to you, fucking hippie freaks. I'm not one of you. But yeah, but just being isolated out with a group of people, you still get tired of each other, right? So that's why having the ability to traverse to the city and have time, in other spaces, Yeah, totally about the beers. And a friend of mine, basically, before she moved here, she just moved here from a farm. She was farmsteading. So this is crazy. It's funny. She was about to be a beekeeper. She was like off taking classes and shit. She was gonna become that was her thing. Because she owned a farm, and short story of the long, like her and the husband split. So she came to New Orleans. But she's got all of she had a farm and animals, and she green thumb, and yeah. So I mean, there's already people that I know that are about doing this, that are good people, that aren't fuck ups, and they're not crusty hippies. I mean, they have, they're not filthy freaks. But yeah, beers and bees, and then we got mead, so we get that honey to make that mead for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, hands on for sure. I mean, that's building shit that was my Jimmy Jammers. I just haven't in years because whenever I was building stuff, I was doing all aspects of it. I was doing the paperwork, the design, the layout. I was going shopping. I was doing the whole thing, and then dealing with the customer, and it was too much. And yeah, then I got in a couple, like, just, you have a couple bad experiences with customers, and I was just like, I can't even. So then I would just started working for other people, and just like instead of having some people that I would hire and kind of sub out things, I went to subcontracting, where I would just like, what do you want done? Oh yeah, the architecture and the color of the houses and everything here, it's very wide and diverse. There is the standard shotgun houses, but then even amongst it is so weird because then you have like newer built houses but it doesn't look out of place. It just looks like, how people are eclectic. New Orleans is especially eclectic. That I'll be down on the street that's all old houses that are painted pink and green, and I mean every house is just wild colors. And then there'll be a black house that is sharp angles and stuff, and looks like, and was just built, and it's all crispy, but it fits. And then there'll be the next block. It's so interesting. Yeah. What's up, Spirit? Yeah. Slightly carbonated homemade wine. the great BM, yeah, all about the good bowel movements. Oh yeah. Okay, Finn. Yeah. Now, okay. Now it's coming. Now I'm remembering for sure, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm all about having like, if we're gonna grand just overview the idea, certainly have the general commune space of everything, and then it's a the the old adage, have your neighbors close, but make sure you have a high fence, is equivalent to be far enough away from your neighbors. No matter how much you like somebody, you still. I don't want to. I don't want necessarily have to want to see everybody every day. And I don't think anybody does. The whole commune thing never works. It never works. But you have to have your own separate space and things. Close enough, and the community area, but all in all, yeah, and it definitely the whole slob thing. No, I'm very in the sense of when I'm building things or working on something. I went in my kitchen. There is a space for everything. It has to be. There's an order and there's a reason. There's a reason why Asian housing and the feng shui works, because it's energetics. And sloppy people is not my life. Whenever I used to go into people's houses and they have a messy house, and I would start cleaning it up because it'd make me feel uneasy. Because I'm like, if your house and you are messy, then your mind is messy, and I can't mess with that. I can't mess with your messiness. Yeah, and the great thing about fruit trees is you can get pre-started fruit trees from Florida that already are spliced with oranges, grapefruits, limes, and lemons. So for like $100, for $50 you can get one that's a year old. For $100 you get a 2-year old for, you know, that's already started that you could plant. And down here the weather is already perfect for that. Hey, Dimensions, you got 2 acres in Milo. That's wicked. I mean, I was talking to who was it, earlier this morning, who has like, I don't know, 40 or 80 acres or something crazy. Um, Divine Hazel, but she's also up. She's also up there, and I'm just like, I can't do cold. I don't. It takes so much more to live in the cold. Through like the cost is out the box. You got to think about clothing, more insulation. You got to think about seasons. What are you doing during the cold? Then you got to chopping wood for fire, or we're getting more and more uh, wind power, solar power, whatever. There's way more things that go into living where it's cold. And from the point of, and I don't like the cold, and I don't think anybody does. So I mean, as much as that would be awesome, it'd be cool to visit and build something, but I couldn't do it where it's cold. Well, yeah. See, no, the sloth is in. That's the other one we're getting. We're getting a sloth. We're getting a sloth. We're getting a capybara. We're getting an alpaca. Those are the 3 standards. Those are mines. You guys can play with them too, but that's what I want. I want a capybara, a sloth, and an alpaca. Those are my 3 standards. And so I do want a sloth. Although slothy people, get out of here. We already got 1 sloth. That's all we need. Oh, that's right. You're growing, huh? That's cool. Well, there's we can always trade supplies. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the I've heard about that too, and that's definitely for property that's already built on. I can't imagine what that's looking like. I think if you just find I think considering that perhaps there are people that are magicians here, and that good things happen to people that put out that kind of thing. I don't have any worries about finding. I don't have any worries about getting ripped off or paying too much. It will work out if it should. That's how I see it. Yeah, somebody want to get rid of that thing, whatever it is, because I can't do it on this side because my finger. I'm working on a phone. Whoever's got a wrench, anybody with a wrench in here want to get rid of that person? Yeah. 50 grand for a trailer? Yeah, right. That's why I'm saying build one. Yeah, Burger King. Burger King ain't the king, yo. It's called Burger Jester or something. Taco Bell. Yeah, for sure. Dimensions. Yeah, when people, it's like that's another thing too. Is like substance people enjoy. That's got to be unlocked too. You know what I mean? I'm not really trying to like. I'm down to have like people that like. I don't care what people like, but as a standard thing, there's certain substances that I'm like, nah, that's just not like if that's your thing and your go-to move, nah, you know, can't be. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't function. And you because you wouldn't vibe with those people. And I'm not being, not in my domicile, not my castle, not my areas. It wouldn't function. Some people are naturally messy. I don't know that they're naturally messy, but I get what you're saying. They grew up messy, and the way that they are is a mess, which means their mind is a mess. So I'm not screwing with people with minds that are their mental is a show of nonsense, of deliberate insanity. A messy desk encourages a creative mind? Perhaps. I know people that have a messy workshop or a messy desk. I can see it. But here's how that doesn't fly. Because I work in kitchens and I've worked in shops and I've built houses. And I guarantee you, it is not easy to work in a cluttered, disastrous space. It means the person's already has their mind in 100 different places. If you ever worked in a high quality kitchen, there's no mess in there. Oh no, there won't be. There can't be, because the organization wouldn't allow it. Because you would then the food would be plated all wrong. Everything's everywhere. The same thing with how people design and build things. They never get anything done. So, and I get it from a writing standpoint. If you got things all over the desk because you've been reading and you're writing, I get it that way. But from a standpoint practically, try. You want to go build a house and then have cords all over the place, and it's dangerous. It's literally dangerous. And having drywall that nobody's cleaning up and dust everywhere, and not on a job site, not in life. Go ask the go look at these people that are these stoic, Japanese people. Their houses are perfect, and they have tea at 2, and it's perfect, and everything is and their walls, and it's just squared off perfectly. It's not a mess, and it's go out and understand the chaos of nature and the beauty of how it looks messy, but it's not. But in space that you design, there has to be organization. Yeah, I mean, I hear you on the. Yeah, I can see. I would be down for sure. Dimension, having like a space when it's 110 here. to do a little road trip and up north. Oh, I'm down for that. But all in all, it's only a couple months it's worth being in the north. Bucky ass called. What's up, Rebecca? Yeah, Finn, I hear you about when you know, the not having, then having something, and you learn the appreciation. But I think when you look at it from a short term, you can have it seasonally and learn to reappreciate things every season. But a season for me was my entire childhood. So now I can appreciate things. I appreciate the South because I lived in the North for 20 some years that I dealt with cold ass winters. And now I go, I know without a question that I appreciate when it's 100 out. I love it. I enjoy the heat. People have been here too long. They go, oh, I want to go where it's cool it's too hot here. I'm like, well, that's because you don't appreciate what you have. Live up there for a while, then see how quickly you'll be like, nope, sun chasing, man. Skull, a couple German shepherds. You know, I gotta say, I don't like German shepherds whatsoever. I've never had good experiences with them. They're too aggressive. There are plenty more dogs from my standpoint that are more friendly, but also just as securing. Like a Doberman is an equivalent, but I don't. They're okay. I would say the upgrade would be. I mean, there's a few. I mean, for me, for my money, it's pit bulls. It's not even close. Like a pit lab, greatest dog on the planet. They protect more than anything. They're more powerful than anything, and they're sweeter than. There's not even their demeanor as their whatever their DNA is, whatever that is proper dog. I just I don't prefer the German Shepherd whatsoever. And also they're medium hair dogs. I like the short hair dogs. And I think that may be because I've had indoor dogs so many times that I don't like cleaning up after them. Pathetic. Hey, go through the car wash. Oh yeah, Juniper's the whole cupboard door thing. That I had a friend who, funny enough, her name was double cross. Her name was Christy Christ, and she was a Gemini. She was born the same day as me, so she was not only had a double name, she was a Gemini, and she was completely erratic. Her cupboards in her kitchen, if she was in the kitchen, they might be open. Nope. No, no. If you're in the if you're not in the kitchen and your cupboards are open, or even if you're working in the kitchen and you leave cupboards open, oh no, I know where your mind is and it's not working. I can't do it. Alan Watts' office, never have. I would assume there was a lot of books. So from the standpoint of, like I said, if it's books oriented, I can see chaos in the books being open and dog earing this and opening this and this that I can see. I have no problems with that. But in other aspects of, I don't like it. I don't mind a library system that has books all over the place. You know, if you have that space and you got, I see. Oh, I don't mind having cats around. I don't like cats indoor spaces. Leave cats outside. I like cats. I like them, but I don't. Cats like me for the majority. Like there's cats that live in the streets out here, and I'll walk down the street and meow, pet them and play with them, and they'll walk around with me, and they're cool. But I don't see them. They're completely opposing creatures to what dogs are. Dogs are dogs are only intimidating. I can see why they could be to people. They grew up in certain areas and that have dogs using them for a specific purpose. But generally speaking, dogs are companions. Cats are something else. Yeah, golden retrievers are fun. Golden retrievers are funny. Golden retrievers are funny. Yellow labs are goofy. Brown labs are really nice. Brown labs are good dogs. Black labs are a little more chaotic. There's a dude, if you can find it. There's a dude on I don't know, probably one of the art spaces that puts a lot of his artwork up on like Reddit or on Instagram or whatever. And there was one he did as a picture of a personification, well, not a personification, but a picture that really showed the attitude of the dog. Like, okay, here's the Doberman, and he would draw it out how you'd see it and how you really feel it is, and then he would do one of the different kinds of labs and how goofy they were, like, with an ear flopping and all wet and with something in its mouth, and another one that's like very protective, and then like a little chihuahua that's like spazzing out, like that really defines the dogs. It's pretty interesting. I don't remember what his name was though. Oh, Junipers, that's awesome. Yeah, Finn. Yeah, cool cats. Cool cats they do their own thing. Cats are out there. Cats are snakes. I don't mind snakes, but cats they're hybridized. Look at their eyeballs. They have Vesca Pisces eyes. They are crossbred with snakes. Thus, the way that they are. They're purring. They hiss. Them body movements. They always land on their belly. Their paws. They're always all over the place. Yeah, they're snakes. I don't mind cats, but not inside. Hmm. Hmm. Skull and Bones. No, I don't think they're snakes crossed with dogs. I know that there are snakes crossed with whatever the larger cats are. Like you say felines, and then you look at like a tiger. They get along because it's part of that DNA. But look at the eyes. The wild, the lions, tigers, those things that look like cats, right? Their eyes are circular. A cat's eyes are Vesca Pisces. There's nothing that says, and the way that they act, the cats play with their prey. Their whole demeanor is everything that is snake-like. The Vesca Pisces, that's snake eyes. They have snake's eyes. It's the portal that they came through. So they're hybridized, definitely. Their noises, to play with their food, all this shit is 100% guaranteed. I mean, I kind of say 100% guaranteed, but as far as my research and what I've seen and what it looks like when you get the crossbreeding, hybridization, ancient Egypt. I mean, the Kundalini energy and how cats, when you pet them and they purr, and the Kundalini snake-like energy. There's much similar. Yeah, some cats have a dog-like quality. I've seen that. I don't know where that comes from, but I would say, because if you look at, you can find guys that live in the pack, live in the pride of lions and tigers, live with them, where they see the human as part of their pride. And so in that way, I can see how, so in that way, they're very much dog-like, and I can see how cats could have that quality at times, but their general behavior isn't that. Ugh. Burp God. A leopard. Yeah. What is the other one called? There's a leopard, a lion, a panther, and there's another one. Yeah, walking with the panther. Finn, that's interesting. Interesting. So then those might be split species. But I've seen when they open their eyes, they're circular, but when they change their eyes, they go slit. I haven't got into that part of the research, but then obviously those aren't the same things. There's no way, there's no humans that have slit eyes, or are there? Right? The majority of humans don't. 99% of them. I mean, people say we've seen it. People, I don't know, perhaps. But like humans and other animals, they have circular eyes. So there could have been the original cat that had eyes like ours. Those might be the ones that are more dog-like. That could be another subdivision of the species. Pumas. Oh, cheetahs. Yeah, cheetahs. Cheetahs are an interesting one because they're cheaters. Pumas and cheetahs. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, well, interesting. Only bathed a couple times, smells lovely. Yeah. My dog, Meatwad, she never smelled bad. She never smelled like, how dogs smell like Cheetos? Now, the difference, I think, being I didn't feed her dog food. I think a lot of that, because it comes out of their paws. They don't have sweat glands, but they do get that smell on their hair and from their paws. And that wasn't just me, because I lived with her. Like, other people, I'm like, smell my dog. What does it smell like? They're like, oh. I was like, she doesn't smell like Cheetos, does she? She's like, no, it doesn't smell like a dog. Is that Schrodinger's cat? I always wondered that. Why is it Schrodinger's cat? And my other favorite book that I've told people to read, and I think everybody needs to go read this, and it's called Pottinger's Cats. If you've never read Pottinger's Cats, it's called Pottinger's Cats: A Study in Nutrition. So if you want to understand nutrition, that's one of the major books that I refer to when I'm talking about a natural diet, which includes milk and uncooked meats and things. Pottinger's Cats, Study in Nutrition, big one. And the other big book that people need to read is by Arnold Gruen, and it's called The Insanity of Normality. Those two books, if you wanna hang out with me, you have to read those two books. I mean, you don't really need to, but at least you can get on my level of something. Those two are huge in my knowledge base. Well, at least maybe not my knowledge base, but fundamentally why I think a lot of the things I think. Because Pottinger's Cats really breaks down a huge deal of what I understand about nutrition, and The Insanity of Normality is basically Arnold Gruen dissecting and pulling apart fraud, his entire stance on masculinity, patriarchy, and wanting to, have sex with your mother or whatever. Like he breaks that down a lot and gets into like environmental and societal influences on people's behavioral mechanisms. Juniper, what flavor? I'm smoking orange, and it's an alpha car, orange and a little bit of mint. But I don't prefer orange really so much. Um, I don't know why I got it. I got lemon, mint, and an orange the other day. I don't know what I got the orange for. I think it's because it's all they had at the store. Oh, if anybody wants to, feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I'm almost out of shisha. So if you guys want to donate, it's only like $4. I get a new pack of shisha that I like. Mint is the easiest, best way to go. So if you want to, you could donate to me so I get some more shisha. I just got some coals, so you guys don't have to throw any money on my coals because I got a box of them the other day. See at the store, $3 for coals, or I ordered them and they were $10 for 10 rolls. So, yeah. And I just got a new bowl today, which is awesome. The bowl was like $6 because I lost my other one or got broke in the move. Yeah, I mean, we all have snake in us to a degree for sure. Eh, you can, but you won't. What do you mean you won't? Rebecca, I disagree. Just get an audiobook then. If you can't find an audiobook, both of these books are short enough. They're easy reads. They're not difficult. They're maybe that thick. There's not a lot to them. It gets right to the point. I mean, I could break down the Pottinger's Cat pretty easy. And I've done that plenty of times. I could just tell you what the book is about, but reading it shouldn't take you that long. The other one, that's way too much psychology to get into. You could just listen to what I talk about, and that will kind of break down the Arnold Gruen book. I know a lot of asshole cats. There are plenty. Yeah, for sure. You're here for the burps. You won't do it? How dare you? How dare you? What? Okay, okay. If you listen to me talk, so you're reading me. You listen to music. You're reading that. You watch movies. I know you do. You do all sorts of things. You're reading everything else. You read tarot. Not read a book. Ugh. You disgust me. Non-book reader. I have to I'll give you that Bill Hicks joke. He's in a restaurant. It's like a Waffle House or something. And he was reading a book. And somebody's like, he says, "We got a reader over here. Why you reading that for?" He's like, "So I don't end up like you working at a Waffle House." Oh yeah, Coors. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll do that. Hey, Dimension. Maybe I'll do that later today. Maybe I'll just go to the store and buy some Coors, and I'll do the burp show where I'll just slug Coors and just burp on burp on burp. We'll see how many burps I can get out of me from a 12 pack. Hey, give me give me 1 minute. No, yeah, count to 45 if you choose to. Okay, we back. We are back. Junie, what are you talking about? Are you really? Oh man, thank you. If you really are, thank you so much. That's crazy. You're the best. That will take care of a couple things that I need to take care of, including a snack. Oh, you know what? I have to fill this up again. Right back. Junie, you are the best. Really? The ice, the beast. Yeah, I've never. I don't know. I've never had the. A couple times I'd left. Interestingly, I've left tequila out. If I leave tequila out overnight, the entire spirit is gone. Like it doesn't taste. There's the alcohol is gone out of it. Where other alcohols, doesn't really happen. I mean, not as quickly. It's gonna happen because it's gonna evaporate. But tequila, if I leave it out, next day I can't drink it. If I leave a little vodka or something out, it's still drinkable. It loses, like the tequila loses its flavor, loses the spirit to it. Oh yeah, Skull. That's one of my one of my favorite things. That was actually the same show. Well, at least I mean he his jokes were didn't necessarily have to. It was lined up kind of that I remember. That was like the part of the same act where he did the one about the that we got a reader here and then everybody loving the Jesus. He was in the Bible Belt. I don't know if it was in Louisiana, but whatever. Yeah, he's like, then forgive me. That was such a direct, like, powerful line. Well, then forgive me. Just so good. Like, and what choice do they have? They either stand by their anger or stand by the fact that stand by their religion. Now the dilemma with that is most people, as much as they want to use the religion for a point of anger. Now they're in a double bind, but they're probably too dumb to know it. Chew on that. Yeah, dimensions. There you go. Yeah, there is. Well, there is that. They gotta. They identify with their sins and their guilt for sure. And that's the whole reason you go to church to take this guilt and this sin away from me. Please do this on a Sunday. Here's my confession. But yet that never goes away because it's obviously not up to the priest or it's up to them. Like you get rid of your own guilt. I don't have guilty conscience over the fact that I shit my pants when I was 6 years old. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna feel bad about that. Nor when I was 22 and I shit my pants. You know, things that I've done. You know, the point of having any amount of kind of like, oh, that was a dumb thing to do, is to then not do it again. You go, oops, that was stupid. That was a stupid move. And then you learn from it and you move on. And then you don't drag yourself back into that. That's the point. That's that is the point of the best part of what religions can be. Is you go, okay, you're forgiven, which means literally you need to forgive yourself too. Everybody fucks up. Everybody's screwing up. Everybody's gonna make some dumb decisions and errors in life. It doesn't escape anyone. It's a matter of you just going, okay, don't continue to do that. But they'll just, well, as long as the point is now that as long as they have that book and that priest and that Christ or whatever they have, they'll continue to make the same mistake, knowing that just on Sunday they can go, oh, you forgive me again? Oh yeah, I forgive you. It's like, it's really in the worst ways, it's a toxic relationship. How many times can you screw up and do the same exact thing, and then it's great to forgive someone. For many, you can forgive somebody many times, and hey, it takes a while to change behaviors, and we get it. But religion, it's to the point like how many times you gonna, beat the shit out your wife, like you pretty much get zero choice, zero times doing that. But whatever. I'm not here to judge anybody. How many times do you get to make the same ridiculous mistakes? The point is that if you were a person and you just go, oh, that was a dumb idea, let's not do that anymore. Where religion just tends to give you that, okay, well, you're good. And then just go ahead and do it again. It's like Sunday, going to church, and then immediately you leave church and go watch football and get drunk and do some wild shit. Go get, what did Prince say? Go bathe yourself in your sins in Lake. What was it? What did Prince say? Somebody help me with this. That lake in Minnesota, Minnetonka. Go bathe in the waters of Lake Minnetonka or whatever. Like about get rid of your sins. Everybody just wants to go and just be baptized. Oh, I'm born again, and no, you're not. You say you're the same being. You're just evolving. Just keep evolving. You'll be fine. Oh, you hear the song? In a world, da, 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 da. How do you make crystal ice with distilled water? Help me out here, Junipers. I don't know what that means. I don't know what we mean crystal ice from distilled water. What is crystal ice? And apparently, distilled water. Isn't there? It doesn't have a different freezing point because there's no impurities in it. That it has to be colder. Isn't there some weird thing about distilled water freezing? It's kind of like you can't freeze distilled vodka and alcohol because of. No ads.
I step over negative perceptions and create my own path. I am a new cyclist.
Oh yeah, skull you for giggles. Yeah, luckily here, I wouldn't while there is quite a bit of Baptist ministries and some people that have that, religious thing about them. As a whole, obviously, this city is nothing like that. Oh, Finn, this is a fun. Let's address this. Would the idea to become more virtuous and less sinful? Well, let's define sin first. Now, if sinful as a totality, the word sin comes from archery. It means to miss the mark, not dead center, not perfect. And to be more virtuous, yeah, being more virtuous. But then again, what are your virtues? So you'd have to define. And I know maybe I'm being a little bit semantic about this, but I think it's important that you define. You'd have to define what's virtuous and what you find is that, and what you find is sinful. Now, if you just say it in a simple way, I think I know what you're getting at. You know, the good. What is the good life? What are the good things? What are the healthy, encouraging, fruitful things versus what gets in the way of progress and health and well-being and helping your neighbors and being a good person, whatever good is, right? We can kind of define what we can define, you know, we can't really define what quality is, but we know it when we see it. So in a sense, yeah, we live in sin. We're always going to do one of these. We're always going to be zigzagging to keep our balance. As soon as you walk, you're in sin. You take a left, once you put your left foot forward, you're in sin. You put your right foot forward, you're in sin. And you're wiggling and waggling. If you're on a tightrope, you gotta fast switch muscles to stand there in the middle. You still are going to be in sin no matter what you do. But the virtuous thing is to be in the center, be yourself, and enjoy those little paths outside of centeredness, because that's where the humor is, that's where the fun is, that's where the adventure is, that's where the drama and the comedy is. But virtuous, yeah, sure, as long as you have what you'd consider quality virtues. Some people have virtues that I think suck. Yeah, there we go. Juniper, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these. Yeah, basically saying, you know, from a standpoint of believing in it as a physical person or something, that he's done great works. If you believe in a Jesus Christ character, it's done great works. But why wouldn't you do things even more fruitful and bountiful and pleasant and gregarious? Of course you could. Of course. You're in a new time. There's new possibilities. But in the simple way of looking at it, it means that if you've had thoughts, your imagination, Jesus, the Magi, creation, all of creation at the time was tantamount to building a chair out of a couple pieces of wood. Now, something greater would be building a chair with cushions and silk, and that's an even greater thing. So the greater things you can do are how much more could you use your imagination to make things even more extravagant and better, and maybe it's simpler, but what makes things more comfortable and encouraging and helpful. Remember the book or the movie The Giver? And there's part of the movie where they say, and it's a big point of the movie, that the people that are the sticklers for rules and order and very, very much patriarchy, it must be done this way. They would always say, what did they say? Oh man, how am I tripping on this? They would say, they were talking about the way you'd use language. What was the statement? They would say, and if you guys don't know, look it up. The giver, and a statement is something of language, not perfection of language, but like man, which is interesting because the better you see, so they were using it in an example in the movie, and it was for the negative version. But the positive version is the more correct you are and the better versed you are in using language and using spells, the better you are at casting a better reality. Which was obviously their thought, but it went awry because it was always about the using language the way they wanted you to, not in the most expansive way. You don't fart? Yeah. You just let him come out the front, you queefer. Oh, juniper's like, oh, you're talking about, okay. Yeah, I think what you do is you freeze. I think the way you do it is you get distilled water as cold as possible, and then you drop in one flake of salt or one something, and as soon as you do, it freezes the whole thing. So you're talking about, so it comes out almost crystal clear. I think that's the move. You probably have to Google that. I've seen it, and I've now that you're talking about the crystal ice where it's basically completely clear. I think it's used distilled water because it can get below the point of freezing, and then as soon as you drop a single element in there or shake the bottle perhaps or whatever it's in, I think that might be it. Um, Finn, virtues such as chastity, diligence, humility, kindness, liberality, charity, temperance, and patience. Yeah, those are all great ones. Yeah, those are great. Certain. Um, but anybody could line up any number of things to say it's virtuous to have money. It's virtuous to be rich of currency. Not that it's wrong. Virtuous to there's all sorts of things that people could insert there that might not cut the mustard. Hmm. Let me put some music on here. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, Finn, 100%. Breaking boundaries to heighten perceptions, enlightenment, this kind of thing. There's nothing more important for breaking the reality open and raising your experience than understanding virtues becoming virtuous in every action. Yeah. Like, how capable is anyone of always being virtuous? You know, as long as it would take the most important part of that, I think, is why so many of the habits revolve around breath work, pranayama. If you're breathing, then your brain is functioning. If you're paying attention to your breath, then everything else will come. That's the only. What is the number one thing you need to do? You need to breathe. Then you need liquid. Then you need food. Then you need house and clothes, and go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But if you're focused on, you can't be focused on breath all day, all the time. Because even if you are, while you're speaking, it's going to be a hard challenge while you're speaking. The closest to that, maybe, if you watch, was probably Osho. Osho was probably the closest to using breath, spirit, and pranayama in a way that other people couldn't. He was very focused on his breath. Alan wasn't, although I like Alan's teachings a little better, obviously. Yuji Krishnamurti? Oh, definitely not. Yuji was a little more of a, he was bold. His virtues were different. He was more of a defined as a masculine teacher, right? And then you have maybe the other Krishnamurti, who was more of a teacher, more near breath work and pranayama. He was more virtuous, I would assume. I would say Yuji I would say Yuji was probably Alan. Alan had virtues, but not necessarily the depth of breath work. I think that that Osho had. Even though, depending on what you think about him, I don't, he's a goof, but Skull, the lack of money is the root of all evil. Well, it can be. If we change that from money to energy, it certainly is. When people run out of energy, they think about people that are backed into a corner in a boxing match, right? And they're lost. And they're just trying to scrounge up all their last little bits of energy to fight off the ropes. They're like, you gotta watch out. And so that can be seen as a lack of money, because money is entwined with your energy to some degree. I mean, obviously, the fact that money is so prevalent on this realm, and what we consider it, because it is connected to how much work you can do. Doesn't matter. But here's the thing: it doesn't matter how good. It doesn't matter what the work is, because it could be good or bad. Although a lack of money hasn't helped a lot of people. But then the abundance of money doesn't seem to help a lot of people. It's just knowing what you're doing with it. Yeah, it goes through you. Like it's allowing rather than trying. Yeah, for sure. It's like people that have no fear of speaking and saying something. Go listen to comedians. Comedians are like that. Not all of them. Some of them are very precise. Anyways, it was called precision of language. Precision of language. Now, that can be much a virtue, but it also can be a detriment, because you're so focused on the correctness of language that you become PC and become don't offend anyone. But the lack of fear in saying something, there are a few comedians out there that don't have any fear whatsoever in saying anything, because that's their spirit, and so they're connected to their spirit. Comedians are. Some people are. So the allowance, like whenever I'm talking, does it look like I'm putting effort into doing it? No, because I'm an air sign primarily. I'm a Gemini, double Gemini, large lungs. I can talk a lot, and it just comes through me. It's kind of like, oh, are you a conduit for something? Are you channeling? No, it's still me. I'm saying this, but I don't really. Once I say it, it's gone. There it is. It's gone. As if it's never been said. It might go into you, the same breath and the same words go into everybody's ears and into your spirit, and you become part of that. That's great. But whenever I'm talking, it's what I said. What do you want from me? It's what I said. It's because I have the capacity to, if I come upon new information, I'll change what I'm saying. I'll change that last idea I had last week. Not right. I found a better way about it. I told you last week, here's the best way to cut an onion. And this week I found, if you actually use cold water and cut the onion this way, that you're going to be cutting last week I was a little, not the best way. We're always trying to find a better way, including using language. Finn, what's wrong with Aries? Yeah, Finn is cooking right now. Finn right now is typing out. He's spirit cooking. Yeah, man. Yeah. There you go. They usually come together. Yeah, the internal and external sins for sure. Most of the time, there's a little bit of a staggering. Like it's well, not it's not staggering. It'll take a moment before the other part hits the mental and the physical. It's like you think about something, and then you buy that thing, and then it's purchase something, and then it's there. The object kind of appears after the mind and the mouth says, and then you can also correct what you have as a physical item and alter it, change it, give it away, which can then, like if you buy something and you get it and you don't like it, it could change your mind about what you said and why you think it, and then all of a sudden I have this item that doesn't actually reflect what I believe, and I get rid of that item, and then I have new open space for not only that physical space but my mind space too, which is not to think that I need that thing. Skull, I have not. Although I I hardly believe anything that's done is any based on documentary, and I hardly believe people's when somebody like someone's a biopic or a biography. I don't buy that. Not at all. And someone's autobiography, I don't buy that either. If you were to write a story about your life, you would definitely, make, I was playing playing in the finals of this game, and there's three guys trying to tackle me. I caught the ball and I did a backflip and jumped over the. Yeah, right. You didn't do that. You're always gonna make that sound better, and then because we like to be dramatic, then all of the bad things were worse. The better things were better, and the worse things were worse. It's just a human thing that people do. There was a friend of mine that used to tell stories, and every time he would tell the story, he would get more and more outrageous with what the story was. He would just start to accumulate this drama to the story. And he did this with everything, to the point where I was like, I can't listen. Dude, every time you tell a story, it's like that movie Big Fish. Like, I was there. That's not what happened. There's one time, here's a short of the story. I'm gonna make it as short as possible because I've told the story so many times I don't feel like doing the whole thing right now. This chick was on the 3rd floor of a building, and she wanted a beer. So we're at the beach, a bunch of us, and this is a party. She'd went up to the room to grab something. We're all downstairs partying, and she's like, wants a beer. So we're throwing her a can of beer or whatever. So as we toss the can of beer, it doesn't quite get to her and goes down to the 2nd floor. Now, she was into gymnastics, and she's very well equipped, muscular, and that's, she's handstands and that. We didn't know her though. I mean, we met her, and obviously she very, very well equipped to do this. Although she was drunk, so she flips over the railing in the worst way possible on the 3rd floor to the outside of the building, and slides down it, and then jumps into the 2nd floor to get her beer. Now this is insane, because like if she falls, she's breaking her neck because it's concrete beneath, and she's drunk. So we're all just watching it like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm not going to do the whole story, but every time he tells the story, next time she was on the 4th floor. Then she was on the 5th floor. And it's like, bro, we were in Myrtle Beach. These hotels are only 4 floors high. The one we're in, there's 4 floors. She couldn't have been on the 5th floor. Stop exaggerating. He would exaggerate stories to make them sound more and more. It's kind of dude. He's 5'7", but If anybody asks, he's 5'9". You know, we always exaggerate. I mean, not everybody does. I make an effort to under-exaggerate stories. It's the good-bad complex which religion uses and infiltrates and creates the bias. Yes. Because it's kind of that Alan Watts bit about like, you don't know what caused what. Everything is connected over time. That there is no separation from the source creator to you right now. There's no separation really. So there's no separation from the source creator to where you are now to the end of your life. There's no separation. There's no separation from you to why the sun rises, etc., etc. So the idea that they put a good and bad dichotomy of everything means that, like, right now, what was bad that you did? You punched somebody in the face. Bad idea. Well, maybe you didn't recognize the whole thing. Maybe they needed to get punched in the face. You know what I mean? You couldn't know everything that goes into why everything occurs, even your own actions sometimes. Yeah, so that good-bad bias is really, but then if you escape that completely and you go, there is no good or bad, people go, well, if there's no good or bad, then you're just going to do what you want and it's all going to be really bad. Like, no, you just think that because you would do the bad things. You would do the things that you consider evil. Where most people that have, escaped that good-bad bias, they don't tend to do things that are fucked up. Like, I don't see much good or bad in the world, but I'm not going to go out and do, ridiculous, retarded, fucked up things. It just doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons. Just because people don't see good and bad doesn't mean they don't see, cost-benefit scenarios and what would be, the proper thing. What's the nice thing to do? It doesn't. Niceties and being kind is not anywhere in the good and bad, perceptions. State of precision of language. Yeah, I think there's, that's another point of precision of language. This is the same thing. So the movie Hero with Jet Li was all about having one universal language rather than many languages where people were confused. This is the whole story. Watch the movie. It's amazing. It's in my top 3. Hero, Jet Li. And the Giver, which was precision of language, very much of an analogy of each other, of what they're trying to get at. But the perception of having precision of language was confining and defining and restricting people from being an expansive being. That was what their precision of language was doing. When I'm saying precision of language, I'm saying expand your language and your words, that you have more things to use at your disposal to convey a message, and then be precise within that. If I only know 10 words, I can only be precise in those 10 words. But if I know 100 words, then obviously there is more colors, more peppering in of different ideas, feelings, emotions, things. So a larger language, as long as you're able to use it and be precise with it, then you convey a deeper, larger meaning. But if it's just for the purpose of being precise with language, then what if you're only given a book that's that thick and that's the only language you know? Be precise within that, I guess. What if there's something you want to say that's outside of that, where you don't know it? You can't even explore the idea. What would it be if I used language that doesn't sound like that or not like that? Can I? No, you can't explore. We already have the language for you. That was the trick of one language in Hero is to define it so much that it's only this, so we can communicate. And precision of language is because we've already given you the doctrine of how language is. To mention, what would I do if I were fed human meat by someone? Prior to eating it or after? Like if somebody just gave me it and said this is human meat, I don't know. Probably wouldn't eat it. I don't see the reason to. Afterwards, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if most people here haven't already done it. I mean, the fact that you've already eaten a cow, a pig, a chicken, what's the difference? A fish? You've probably eaten a dog meat. You've probably eaten all sorts of meat. And there's a possibility of eating human meat. Who cares? What the fuck are you gonna do? I mean, if somebody did it intentionally with the purpose of like fooling you and be like, aha, you've eaten human meat, like what am I gonna do? If I can vomit it up? I'm gonna like, oh, dare you? Oh, how dare you? I mean, I think that I would probably, magically or mentally, I'd probably, might be something, there might be a curse coming their way. I might verbally curse them out. They might catch a slap chop to the neck, but that's not. I don't know. What it's kind of like those things where people give you these questions of like, what would you do? You don't know what you would do in the situation unless you're presented with it. I don't think I would do much of anything. What would be the correct response? And that would have to do with virtue. What would the correct response be? What if that's what they ate? What if that's what they believed in? Oh. Uh-oh. Uno momento, por favor. Okay, cool, awesome, great, grand, wonderful. Okay, so for the longest time here, I hadn't showered because my bathtub was clogged up, and I was just put it off, and I had my hair in a way that I had a nappy ass knot. And I thought I got it all out, and when I was playing with my hair, I realized the knot was still, there was a little piece of the knot, so I had to go comb it out. That's what I was doing, in case you were wondering. Finn, if you didn't know it was human meat, would you? No, you couldn't be. That's ridiculous. If you're not given an opportunity to consent to something, anything you eat, you can't know anything. You can't know everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't know it's like everything to a degree is, kind of laissez-faire, buyer beware. There's that. Like you can even if they. I have smoked what I thought was weed before, because the person that gave it to me was under the impression that it was weed, and the person that they got it from apparently was under the impression it was weed. However, it was not. It was that not weed that they make in the, what the hell they call that, and it was no good. It was not a good experience. So where do looks like weed, smells like weed. Wasn't weed. Yeah, the universe the universe works as you let go of something. Yeah, you got when you look at things from a substance level, a physical level, you only have so much space. Like for instance, when I lived in bigger houses, I had more things. And I live in a smaller house now. I had to let things go because there was nowhere to put them. But as I get rid of things, that empty space becomes vacuous. It becomes a vacuum, and it pulls things into it. And now you could, by getting rid of things, getting things in your body, then you have space to put new things in. You get rid of ideas that you had, it's new space to put new things in. If I get rid of everything in this apartment, I can sell everything in here. And it would give me space, and I'll go, what can I put in here that I would really like? So giving up those ideas, the things, physical items, doesn't mean you won't want physical items, because you will. Physical items are nice. You're always going to want a nice blanket, some clothes, a headband per se, perhaps. Whatever it is you want, maybe food. It's going to happen, regardless of what you think. Unless you just want to sit there and, well, that's fine too. You'll do that, and eventually you'll get bored of that, and you'll come back here and you go, oh, physical stuff, cool. I like this. I like the feeling of this chair. I like the feeling of having a beard. I like having things to play with. But the point again is, getting rid of things opens up space for you to have new things. And isn't newness and freshness kind of how the world works? Once you eat something and it's gone, you can't just hold on to that orange forever. That orange will dissipate and become nothing. It'll start to decay and fall right through your hands, and it won't be there. So you want a new orange, or an apple, or pear, or a plum, or maybe, I don't know, whatever it is. But it opens up space. You get rid of something, and it opens up. It could be anything. Yeah, you under exaggerate too. Yeah, I just don't like to over exaggerate. I think it's fun. I think it's silly. And I think the reason that is, if you over exaggerate, then you have to live up to those standards. It's like, being an underachiever, the Bart Simpson kind of shit. The acting humble, acting less than, no, whatever. Like there's plenty of stories I've told, and to you guys and everybody else. It's probably way less than what it was, or not as like, I don't frequently tell you about, people that I know, how famous they might be, or how rich this person is, or how much I have, or what. It doesn't matter. Because if I do, or this experience that I had, or this, if I want, I'm the smartest person I'm always then you have to be that. Oh, well, show me then. You're not going to live up to it. You have to undersell. It's undersell and overdeliver, and that includes anything else in life. Undersell, overdeliver. Skull, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that goes back into like a pirate radio. You know, pirates and pirate radioing, and they make it, they tell like everybody's complaining about paying for clean water, and obviously travesty, ridiculous. But even before we were paying for even dirty water, people were paying for airwaves. You're paying for just to speak over the air. The only thing difference there is if there's an amplifier, in to justify it, you're paying for whoever put up the amplification device. If I put up an amplification device, you gotta owe me a penny to use it. I think that's fair. Granted, the amount and access to it is very, and then the rules placed on it. No, you just put up an amplifier, and if people want to use it, then, and everybody's gonna be on a different frequency anyway. So it's who wants to tune into that frequency. It's up to you. You don't like the frequency, change the frequency. As long as you have a way to decode it with your radio transmitter that the person who has the amplifier sold you that too. So if you got a radio and then an amplifier, that antenna, you can own both. And of course, if you designed that and built that, you should maybe get a little bit off of. But once you give everybody an opportunity, like you got, not your channel is 103.2758697. That's your frequency. That's what you come off as. I can't own that. I can, however, own the amplifier and charge you to use it. And I can also, that box that I give you to tune into that frequency, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But what they did became well out of pocket. Yeah, I hear, Juniper's, I hear you, but the only terror is coming through the people that have the biggest access to the stations. But then why do people keep tuning into those stations? Because they're addicted, and because those are the ones that are the most easily accessed. So you get a TV thing, and you used to be able to get 8, 10, and 13, and 21, and 31, or whatever. What happened to the rest of them? Why can't you access those? You gotta pay more. You gotta pay a premium to listen to things that they don't want you to hear. Seems a little sus. You said watch toot. So speaking of paying to watch something, so Juniper has paid for all of you to watch me on the next show that I do, and if anybody wants to throw some ducats at it, if you want to, I have 2 ideas for some show. Well, I have about 100 ideas, but the 2 that are kind of rambling around my head is to do the Everything I Know show, which will be I'll start in the morning. And it'll be one of the, if you all know, I used to do those like ridiculous 10-hour shows. And it would be an Everything I Know show. And I would go through all of my old videos. I can't watch them all. I'll just look at my titles and kind of remember what I did and write out a list of things. And I'll go through a show, and I'll do the Everything I Know show. And then the other one that I would do tonight, if you guys want to put a couple bucks on it, is the Burp God show, where I'll get a bunch of different beers that are burpy beers. I'll get a bottle of champagne, cheap champagne. I'm not trying to make it expensive, but I'll get burpy things, and it'll be a show that I'll get drunk on champagne and very bubbly beers and other things, and we'll see how many times I can burp during a show while still staying somewhat coherent and attentive to your questions. That could be fun. Hey Junipers, thanks for the Jacksonian. I appreciate it. That is definitely going to give me some shisha that will go well with the Burp God show. Or maybe I'll do that tonight. Oh, I can be more burpy. Oh, if anybody hasn't seen any of Jay Dreamer's new ones, one of his recent videos, he was talking about what the purpose of the one eye was and the winking. He was talking about winking and the oddly enough, he was talking about the positive of it, not somebody was doing one of these or whatever, doing whatever left eye of Horus. He was talking about it in a different way of why. And he was talking about it in the movie. Oh, it was in the movie, The Never-Ending Story, and why the flying doggy thing, whatever the hell that was. I forget his name now. Why that thing was always winking. Go check it out. Pretty interesting stuff. Although he has not much good to say about anybody that says to practice Shivambu Kalpa or drink their piss or what it has to do with plasma. It's not very happy with that. Very aggressively unhappy with that. Which I find very funny. And all of you should get yourself a bendy straw. Not just a simple bendy straw. Get yourself one of these bendy straws. Look at that. It's like super bendy. You can almost, it's like a double bendy straw. You get that way. You can do 2 curls on it. I think that's pretty excellent. It's well worth it. Skull. I have a metal straw with a bend in it, which is pretty good. It's for a I have a steel mason jar with a screw-on cap and the bendy straw that goes with it. It's pretty cool. Pretty great stuff. I thought I had lost the straw, but it had fallen into my dishwasher, into the bottom. And then the other day I was out and I'd left my I left my mason jar where I was. Luckily, a friend of mine, who y'all know, picked it up and still has it. So I just was like, oh, you can borrow that until I need it next. We'll see if he still has it next time I see him, because he's in a habit of losing things too. Because he's always playing instruments and getting drunk. Oh, you got the bendy in it too? Yeah. I gotta get one of the cleaners for it, because after a while you kind of like, there's got to be a little mess in there. You can't completely wash it out unless you get one of the it's like I need one for my my hookah too, because I haven't really cleaned it out too well. I had to kind of put a piece of paper towel in there, and then a hanger. It didn't really work well, but it cleaned it out a little bit. So what do we get into? 2 hours into this. Cool. What else? I gotta go grab some more ice, y'all. How do you feel about that? Gonna have to wait a minute. I'll be with you guys momentarily as I fix myself a beverage. Okay. Wicked. Alright. So what's up? What's going on? What should we get into here? What's new in the world today? Is it Monday? Is it Monday? It is Monday, huh? January 17th. 2022, according to apparently the normal calendar that everybody's using. It's about 5 o'clock. New Orleans. Although I don't really know what time or where we are. I don't know what is happening. And it's 55 degrees outside. That is where I am. Should be warm in a couple days. Do you guys like talking about the weather? Do you ever have people talk to you about the weather? What is that? What is that? What is people's obsession with talking about the weather? They literally talk about the weather, but they don't talk about anything that's connected to the weather. When people talk to me about the weather, I will comment on why is it such? What's going on with those things in the sky? The clouds or the chemtrails or whatever. I always like to go that way. Keep them on their feet. But also, Why don't they talk about what's connected to the weather? Like, oh, look at that flower, or why is that tree growing like that? Do you know what tree that is? And why does it grow here and not over there? Those are things I like connected to the weather. Although most people, they just want to comment some basic thing on, it's a hot day today. It's kind of chilly out there. It's great to want to make communion with someone and have a conversation. That's great. But like, I think it needs to be a little more, you know. Don't comment on the weather. If we're just in space for a second, don't tell me about the weather. I don't care. I already know what the weather is. Oh, wicked, Finn. Wicked. Hey, hey, Rebecca. Enjoy your evening. If you go outside for a spliff or a hand rolled, make sure you don't lock the door. Don't lock yourself out. I had to get right in there to see what that was, because I'm looking at my my camera here, or not my camera, my phone. Oh, it's 2 people. I couldn't tell. It was like a bluish it was a bluish blob to me. Hey, does anybody know this? So I'm using my phone, and my TV is a smart TV. Is there any way that I can put this while I'm doing this on YouTube onto my TV? Is there a way of doing that? Can I screen capture this while I'm doing this? So that way I don't have to be, I can sit farther away from this, and I can look at my TV, because my TV is big and my phone is small, so I gotta lean in here to do things, to look at what you guys are commenting, and I can just see it up there. Is there any way? There's got to be a way. Someone tell me the way. What do I have to just plug it in? But I don't want to plug it in. There should be, because I can cast this. So I can cast this, my YouTube. I can cast the TV. It's easy. Or I can use my TV. You know what I could do? Let me try something. This could be interesting. I gotta get rid of this music for a second. And now I think I might have to do this a different way than I want to. But I'm gonna try it. So just give me a second here. Home. And it should give me my channel. And I can look at it. I wonder if all of the comments will show up on the TV. So now I got the TV right there. Hold on. So you guys type something. Somebody say some shit. Oh my gosh, there I am. I'm on the TV. It's so weird. And now I have to put my camera in a different position, because every time that I'm talking to you guys, you can see me and this looks correct. But if I look up here, it's going to show me doing that, and that's weird. Okay. The capacity for me to see what you guys are saying is not happening on here. Let me... Hold on. Oops. You guys gotta work with me in real time here. Oh, shit. Live chat. Yes. Say something again, weirdos. I think it's gonna work. Successfully connected, and then let's see if it shows up, because it's giving me, oh fuck yeah, this is way better. So now I don't even have to, I could sit farther away from the screen here. Cool. I can even probably get up here. Let's see. Yeah, this okay. Now in the future, I can work with this because I know that I can just watch myself on the TV, and I'll set my phone up next to the TV. Cool, 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 cool. And I can see you guys so I can see your comment from here. On here, I can't if I'm too far away. Okay, cool. It's been accomplished. Well, now that I know I can do this, I'm going to save it for another time because I want to hear music. Back to the music. I'll be able to, now that I know that's a possibility, I can figure out how also to play music. Lots of things going on here. New things happening. I wonder how far behind you guys are on the when I'm saying something and when you hear it. And then also when I get your comment. There is a lag in both directions to some degree. Because what I was looking at was about 3 to 4 seconds behind. So what I just said showed up on the TV right now. So did you? I don't know how you would. About 5 seconds difference. Let's go back to this one right here. All right, cool. Great, grand, wonderful. Fantastic. Well, welcome to whoever's in the background. Apparently, there are 7 other participants besides Finn in this virtual tour of insanity, which is the life that I live. It's kind of weird. It's not like everybody's. This is what I do. I sit around in comfortable spaces and say weird things. Some people understand it, other people do not. And listen to groovy music and drink only the finest of beverages, which is apple juice that was on sale for $1.99 for a big container, and what I found to be the cheapest vodka, but it is not cheap. It is not. It's just undervalued. Svedka vodka. I get a hand. Like, look at. Check this out. Here, Svedka. Right here. It's a whole. It's the whole handle. This is a 175, and it was on sale for $16. So, if Svedka wants to sponsor me, have at it. You don't even. It'd be nice if you paid me a little bit. You could send me some bottles. I'm pretty funny. Pretty funny. I'm wildly intelligent. I'm kind of handsome. I could sponsor Svedka vodka. Because really, it's excellent vodka. It's very clean, pure, distilled, delicious. Not too. You know how you drink sometimes. You drink a vodka sometimes, and it's kind of like, oh. You make that stupid screw face. Nah, that I can actually do a shot of that, which is not too often. I can't really do shots of anything. And for $17 on sale, well, $16 on sale. That means a $7.50 of it is like under $7. That's crazy. Usually a $7.50 for cheap garbage is like $10, $11 for something decent. 16, 17. For a real decent bottle, 20, 22. So that's like $50 worth of liquor for $17. Big win. Yeah, Dimension, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can make really good. I've made in the past. I used to use that almost exclusively to make tinctures out of because it was the cheapest thing I could find, and it was in a glass bottle. If it's in a glass bottle, it's already a win. Plastic bottle, don't do that because it's gonna eat away at all the. It's gonna taste all weird. Mm-hmm. What do I enjoy mixing with vodka? Um, Really just about anything. If I had my druthers, what would I really drink? I would be more like Lebowski. I really like. I wouldn't drink it every day. I wouldn't drink it all the time, but I really do like I like a black Russian over a white Russian. I want it either chocolate, kind of like like chocolate coffee kind of thing, or um, what is this? What is the standard stuff they use in it? Um, like it's the only time it's like, wow, you can actually put milk with a liquor and it's good. Yeah, white Russians are fine, but I'd rather have a black Russian. And but if I'm just drinking it on a regular, cranberry and cranberry and lime really be that's up there. Um, I like a little bit of pineapple, but that again that gets a little too acidic for me. Mm, ginger, ginger beer, ginger beer. I mean, I would do a gin and ginger, primarily gin and ginger, and then vodka and ginger is fine. Not ginger ale. I mean, I like ginger ale, but ginger beer is the way to go with the super heavy duty amount of the ginger flavor. Mm-hmm. Ah, that's so funny. To mention that you said guava. I just got two bottles of guava juice from the dollar store. It was like a 33 ounce. I mean, it was obviously it had like some garbage in it, but it was good. Guava is decent. I don't like guava by itself. Guava and use your words. Use your words. Mango, mango and guava with vodka. But I also, no matter what I put in there, I want a little bit of lemon or lime. I need something super sharp for it. Or ginger. Lemon, lime, or ginger are quality accoutrement to the vodka. Yeah, guava by itself, I never really enjoyed the flavor. It's really really good with other things in it. Like I was doing guava with guava, lime, and oh, it's guava, lime, and cranberry. There's really not much that I don't like in vodka. I think it's just, I want the juice, but I want the effect of a clean liquid, a clean distilled, spirit. That's the thing too. If I'm drinking gin, there's so many spirits in it that it's fun, and in small quantities, I really love gin, but I can kind of maintain, I can kind of maintain a somewhat awareness if I'm just drinking vodka with everything, somewhat. A sour guava sounds good. Yeah, whenever you turn anything into a beer, I'm down for it. But there's a lot of things that because it goes through the fermentation process, you're getting rid of all of the sugars that are making the flavor of the fruit what it is, and it doesn't taste anything like the original thing. I really like beers that are um, ta- a lot of people are like, oh, that's not really a beer then, and da da da. But I like the tail end add the juice after the fermentation has happened, so you get the residual sugars and the sweetness and the flavor of whatever juice it is. So a lot of times people are like, oh, it's made out of this, that, and the other, whatever, and it doesn't taste anything like it. It's still good. It's beer, but I like when they add the cherry at the end, the whatever fruit it is at the end. But then again, I don't like orange, and I don't like whatever that beer is. Blue Moon with orange. No. But there is something I tried a while ago, which was a fermented orange drink. It was orange. It was oranges and ginger that they let ferment and made like an orange beer out of it, and that was really, 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 really good. And really like a lassi, like a mango lassi, like a yogurt-based drink. It's an Indian drink that would do like a mango lassi, and it's very creamy, very rich, very thick. But using that as a base for vodka too is really good. Today has been a pretty okay day, huh? I got 2 gifts in the mail. I got my new hookah bowl. It's comfortable inside. Good, decent music. Good field of I got a little bit of it's cooled down in here a little bit. As I was saying earlier, it's super hot in here. Cozy day. Yeah, you said you took a month break from tobacco. Yeah, with tobacco for me, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I will smoke good tobacco or shisha, and I haven't smoked shisha in years. I've had my hookah around and I just haven't used it. And then I got some and I was like, oh, I've missed having the hookah. It's a nice. It's better if there's people around. It's very communal and shareable, but the hookah, yeah, hookah, coffee, and a beverage. I mean, I've said that 1,000 times that my druthers in the morning would be a glass of wine. So there's my spirit that I would drink first. I want probably 2 or 3 glasses, 2 glasses of wine, 1 glass of wine just to drink, and then espresso and a cigar. That's perfect. And a parallel to that would be, okay, I'm gonna drink a cup of decent chocolate coffee, and then a mixed drink and a hookah. Similar, but I'd still rather a cigar. And it's a different buzz. And I would given the right tobacco and the right weed strain, a spliff would be fine. But there's too many varietals of weed these days that I can't. I'm less like, I don't know. I might not like it. It might be too heady. It might make me too lazy. I don't know. I was unaware of the connection between Mars and tobacco. Interesting. as I've said before, I'm always interested in. Okay, so it says there's 10 people here. Maybe, maybe there's 3. Maybe there's 10. Maybe there's 100. I don't know. But I'm always interested in what the other people are doing, and the typing part. Whenever I'm on someone's show, I can see there's like 100 people in the room or something, or whatever it is, and there's only like 10 to 20 people commenting. So that makes sense. You don't need to comment. But when it's a small room like this, I assume that everybody has the capacity to say, "Hey, what up, Zen? It's me. It's a me, and I know you." Or, "Hey, I've never seen your show, and this is interesting," or whatever. I like that part. I like that part too. But most of the time, whenever there's 10 to 20 people in here, about 80% of people do not identify themselves, which I don't mind, but it'd be nice. It'd be kind of like if you walk into the room and you want to participate and you're listening to someone's conversation, you should kind of say, "Hey, what's up, yo?" You don't need to talk. You just say hello. Ah, yeah, the smoking with alcohol. Both are dehydrating things for certain. So you gotta stay up on the liquids. And yeah, caffeine. Yeah, I can't do too much caffeine either. Whenever I do caffeine, I make sure it's a dark roast or espresso. Lowers the caffeine, and I can't drink a lot of it. Ah, super champion, you fucking bot head. You know what? Instead of calling people potheads, call them bot heads. Beer, beer pee? I don't think so. I think your body processes all of the alcohol. I don't think you're getting any more alcohol on it. And I'm assuming you don't get it. I'm assuming you probably don't get a hangover. Trying to think of times that plenty of times that I've drank beer and I've drank piss afterwards or during, because then I piss more and it's cleaner. I just don't associate it with the next day and how bad the hangover is, or if I have one or not. There was a long time I didn't get hangovers, and then I started to get hangovers, but I realized that when I was getting hangovers for a little bit, it was it had to do with what I was consuming, like eating wise, and how hydrated I was. And then I'd stop getting hangovers again, and I don't really get hangovers much anymore. And it's also I've adjusted what I'm eating and when I'm eating and how much I'm consuming of alcohol. So I don't really, and also there's the addition that I recently, the less hangovers, and my chemical balances seem to have stabilized somewhat. And what I've noticed in my dietary habits is I've been drinking coffee more often, but not a lot, and it's only in the morning. But I'm not drinking it to get over a hangover. I wake up and I'm fine. But I'll have coffee. Perhaps I'll drink piss sometimes. And I drink less alcohol, but throughout the day, and it stays towards vodka. If I drink later in the day, I end up with a hangover. But I haven't really had a hangover, and I keep a steady buzz, and tobacco use went up a little bit. So nicotine went up a little bit, from 0 basically. Caffeine went up from, there was caffeine, and I would have different things with caffeine in it, but not a lot. So the coffee, and then dietarily, of eating food, that I still usually at the end of the day. So usually I think that might help a little bit, just eating at the end of the day. Oh, Dimension, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, whenever people are talking, I hear like if someone's saying something, I can just skip over it or whatever. It's all good. No idea. What's up, yo? Drinking hookah water is great for your bowels. I suppose it probably is. I never have. I haven't considered it. But I mean, like hookah, like with tobacco. I mean, tobacco in general is good for a lot of things. Like if you have a, like, if you, like, it's good for tooth sores. There's something in the nicotine and something else in there, and I can see how if it's hookah from weed, see how that might work. No idea. Um, Coffee is something that I didn't. Coffee I love, but it's something that I don't. I don't love the high off of it. I don't like the. I just like the flavor, and I'm nowhere near a coffee drinker. Only recently did I start smoking anything and drinking coffee because that's what the people I know would be doing. They'd be like hang outside and they would smoke a black and mild, whatever. And so I'd smoke that and I would drink a little bit of coffee because they would drink coffee in the morning. So that's what I kind of picked up, but it's not really habitual. I don't need to. Like I've done plenty of days where I just wake up. I don't smoke anything. I don't crave nicotine. I don't crave um, the buzz from coffee. I don't none of that. Um, oh yeah. No idea. Yeah, I wouldn't say they made me. Cigars don't. No, cigars do not screw me up. But black and milds, yeah, I definitely got a little bit of a throaty kind of nasally kind of congestion. They're no good. I know that. And so like those I don't know the last time I smoked one. But yeah, certainly they're not on like the to-do list. Yeah, I don't really have much of an addictive personality nor an addiction to much of anything. The only thing I really thoroughly enjoy is really beer, wine. And I've said before, like if I could only and I had if I had the finances to do exactly what I wanted to do, I would probably drink wine mostly. I really like a wine buzz and I like what it does. But I can't afford the good stuff, and the cheap stuff a lot of time has sulfites and it might give me a headache. So a good wine, I would drink wine mostly. I would occasionally drink a vodka mixed drink, and depending on the heat and the weather, I would drink more beer. I drink more beer in the summer because it's lower ABV and you keep a nice buzz with it. But I'd probably be a wino. What do I like about effects of a wine? Yeah, I think that's right. Wine. There you go. You can tell how drunk I am. There's level one right there. I'm feeling the effects of the vodka. It's to me, it's always more. It is warmer. It definitely makes me laugh a little more and give me the little itchy nose. Like I'll do one of those. I can tell that happens. And I like the flavor. I like wine. Yeah, it's something about the warmth. It's not hot, and it's not like beer where you're just getting the beer. You kind of just get a nice buzz out of. with the low ABV stuffs like farmhouse ales and stuff. And liquor, you're kind of getting somewhere quick, and it's too heating. It's too heating of an element if you don't know what you're doing with it. But yeah, wine is good. The only dilemma with wine is it's so delicious, and the ABV is up there that it's hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain throughout a day. I would probably switch up wine with beer. If I'm drinking wine, I'm not doing shots. If I'm drinking wine, I'll drink a beer here and there to smooth it out. Well, I mean, no idea. No idea. Portuguese is why it's called port. You know this, right? Like port wine. I love port wine because it's mixed, so it's a higher ABV and it's sweeter. And the reason they did that, are you familiar with this? If anybody else doesn't know this, port wine officially, it's kind of like champagne. It's not just bubbly wine. It has to come from the Champagne region. Port wine it's so that it go from Portugal. That's where it comes from originally. And the assumption is because it can go from port to port, and for it to do that, you need to up the ABV on it, because 13.5, which is wine, can go bad on a long boat journey. Once you open it, it's going bad immediately. Like, you have to drink it. Where port wine, when you put the top back on, it's going to last because the ABV is up in the 18 range, so it doesn't go bad. And they're mixing it with what? Brandy or some other, that's the original is from Portugal. But nonetheless, port wine, just like champagne, it just really means, like, champagne is a type of yeast and what they're doing, and port is mainly means it's just a higher ABV and a little sweeter, which I really, really like. Yeah, the city's Porto. Yeah. There you go. Oh, I do fully. It's if I, that is one of my favorite things. I really like a good port wine. Really, really, really lot. But again, you're up to 18% and it's so delicious. That's an easy way to, crash land. But if I haven't really drank all day and it's a nighttime thing and just hanging out and bugging out, listening to good music, I'm all about just drinking port wine. No idea how much port wine sets you back. Well, the really cheap stuff, for like $7 you can get a bottle, which is an upgrade over getting regular wine because it's a higher ABV, right? And it tastes better. But there's also sometimes sulfites and headache-ish. But a normal bottle, $15, $18. A decent one that like if a daily drinking when I used to drink it, $22, and that's decent. Like Warres, WARRE. There's a few that I just can't remember off the top of my head, but I used to drink port wine a lot. Delicious. And the better the port wine, the sweetness kind of goes away a little bit, and it becomes a bigger, almost like a Cabernet Franc, where you can taste the fruit in it, and it's big and strong, and it's not as much sugar. Well, I mean, that's what it costs. I mean, there isn't really a mean between the $7 bottle, which is the normal, whatever that bottle that everybody gets. I don't even know why I can't think of the name of it because I've drank so many of them. Between that and the next price level is $10. Like a normal bottle of port really is probably $15 to $20. Which I guess if you're looking at it from ABV, that's 19% versus 13% in wine. A normal bottle of wine is $12, right? $12 to $13. Paying about $1 per ABV. For port wine, you're paying about $18 for for 18%. So it's equivalent in that realm. But then normal bottles that like once you're in the store, like it's $22. And then you can go up a level. Then you're like, you know, it's really, really good, but I ain't got money like that right now. Oh, Finn, for real? Oh, you fucking Finn, thank you, dude. Well, then that's what I'll do. I will see, that's the thing with when people send me something, like some dollars, tell me what it's for. If you're like, here, take care of your phone, take care of your rent, cool, or just spend on whatever you want. But if you tell me directly, buy a bottle, I'm gonna buy a bottle and I'll drink it on camera and we'll have a good time. That's how it works. So port wine, yeah, I'll get some port wine, and I will add a couple dollars to that and get a decent bottle. For sure. I can appreciate it, dude. That's wicked. Now you got me thinking, because I've never, the store that I go to down the street where I get most everything from, my groceries and my liquor and whatever, cool little place. I've never bought a bottle of port from there, because it's just never on my to-do list. But really, really though, you know what I like doing? A little trick that I like. Buy a box of Franzia. You know, the big 5-liter that's like $20. So it's the cheapest wine you can buy. And it's not bad. It's actually mad decent. Get that and a bottle of port. And I'll put some port wine in. I'll even get the cheap port. And put that in with the box. Well, I won't put it in the box, but I'll put it in my glass, you know. So like I'll pour almost a whole glass of wine and then a shot of port wine, and it gives it just that little bit of sweetness, and it makes it like a rosé and a little sweeter. That's the move. Yeah, I would probably, funny enough, most of these times that I'm drinking, and I'm drinking the Svedka, I would probably rather be drinking the, like a box of Franzia or whatever the cheap box is. But this store over here only sells the 3 liters for $18. Where if I were to walk down the street and go to the big grocery store, for the same price I can get the 5 liter. So it's kind of like, if I can get a, you know, a 3 liter of wine, I could probably over a day kill that. Where for the same price, this 175 of vodka, 2 days, and that's if I'm sharing it. If I'm just drinking that myself and I'm really drinking, it's still 3 days of drinking. So that's like $6 a day to hang out and bullshit and be good. Where that a box of wine for $18, it's like buying a bottle of wine. What is that gonna do? That's just like, you're making me like, I need 2 bottles for myself of wine, and then I'm out the pocket, you know, $25. Rather just make a mixed drink. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll go to the big grocery store and get a box of wine and a bottle of port, because the port is cheaper there. Hey Finn, thank you. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That goes on me. I mean, it's a shareable thing. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dimensions, port wine? Have you ever had ice wine? Any dessert wines? Dessert wines are where it's at too. Ice wines, they're icky sweet, but so delicious. It's something that it comes in you don't get a 750, you get like a 375. That's how they sell it. And the way they make it, it's a little bit stronger, but a little bit sweeter because of the way that they make it. Um, and it tastes like dessert. It's like you can't really drink more than one. Like that's what you drink. You just drink one thing of port wine or of ice wine, and it's dessert. You don't need the sweets. You don't need anything else. Just that. Of the black box wine, yeah, it's good. Like I mean, the black box. There's so many. There's so many of the 3 liters now that are really good wine. That they save money on putting in a box, and who really unless you're like hoity-toity with wine that you want the bottle and this cool label like nah, everybody gets that, they get the boxes of 3 liters. For me, I'll get the 5 liter. I'll be the Franzia ass. Oh yeah, I mean if you're getting a Merlot or a Cabernet because it's the red, it has sulfites added. I can't get the red wines unless it's a good red wine. Unless it's organic and no sulfites added, I can't drink the red wine because it'll give me a headache. And I can taste the metallic in my mouth. What up, lettuce and numbers? Vermouth. What is that? What I know what vermouth is, and it's an additive for if you're making a martini, oftentimes, right? But I never had vermouth wine. Am I missing something? Is that a upgrade to just a standard vermouth that is you kind of put a splash into drinks? Sweet, excuse me. Sweet wine with spices. Yeah, like what do they do the major thing they do for brunches, where they put all the fruits and all the spices, and they make the warm wine. What's that called? Hmm. Hey, well, check it out, everybody. I'm gonna I'm gonna call it a I'm gonna call it a break here. It's like 3 hours, so let me um let me go get a bottle on on Finn here, and I'm either gonna get that or I'm gonna get some beer and do the burp show tonight, or I'm gonna get that bottle and come back. I really gotta take a shit. And I got to turn some lights on, and we'll change the room up a little bit. Um, and I'll probably be back here in what time is it? It's like 5:30. Hmm. Give me like an hour or so if you guys want to come back, and we'll bug out. Maybe a little longer than an hour because I think I'm gonna shit and maybe take I got a phone call to make and have a snack. So, oh God, yeah. Thank you everybody for the ducats and the company. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll let you all know. Most important thing to do is take care of yourself because you are the most important thing on your journey and experience. And when you can help out others, that's very important too. And be weird. It's the only thing you can be. Thanks for showing up. It's been fun, and I think you'll see me in a little bit, and I'll have some lighting on in here. Yeah, mulled wine. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Super Champion, good to see you. Good to see. Hey, yeah, you got here a little late. Let us know numbers, unless you've been here in the back the whole time. Um, Good to see you, Finn. Back soon, Super Champion as always. Yes, Dimensions, good to see you, bro. And everybody else that's been in the background. I'm ass out of here. I will see you all soon, and we'll be drinking and smoking and being goofy and chatting about whatever. See y'all soon. Bye.